Welcome to the Powerful One podcast with your host, Tommy Parker. This college dropout turned entrepreneur and high-performance coach created Powerful One with the mission of sharing the stories of individuals who have divided from conformity and redefined success in their own terms. Join us as we dive into the incredible stories and journeys of becoming truly powerful.
Welcome to the Powerful One podcast. I am your host, Tommy Parker, and today's episode is with Evan Anderson. But before we get into the episode, I just want to say if you're new to the Powerful One podcast, welcome. If you guys like the content that we put out here, I invite you to go subscribe on YouTube, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. That is what really moves the needle in the podcasting space. But now, without further ado, let me introduce the special guest today. Episode 48 with Evan Anderson. Evan Anderson is a 20-year-old entrepreneur and model from Iowa, currently living in Tampa, Florida. Evan transformed his body and overcame his insecurities through fitness and is now helping men do the same. He is the founder and owner of Billion Dollar Body. Billion Dollar Body is a personal development and fitness coaching program for men. His mission is to help men build a physique they've always wanted with the confidence and mindset to match. And in this episode, Evan talks about growing up in a small town, overcoming insecurities and body image, his love for health and fitness, finding your passion and getting uncomfortable. He talks about self-awareness. He talks about his faith, the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur, his life advice for young people, and much more. So here it is, guys, episode 48 with the powerful Evan Anderson. All right, Powerful One podcast. What is up, guys? We are here with the powerful Evan Anderson. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? I'm excited to be here. This is awesome.
I'm excited to have you on, man. We connected not too long ago, man. We're newly, confidants, newly friends here, and I was just very inspired by who you were. I think we spoke on our initial call, man, and just the fact that it was a little bit unsettling, right? That we're both, in our young 20s, and there's not a lot of people who we have as friends or who we can relate to that are our age. And so I definitely related to you being a younger guy, me being a younger guy, and was just really fascinated, man, with, how you came to be the powerful one that you are today. And obviously, your journey is going to still continue and you're going to do great things. But yeah, man, just take me back a little bit. I'm super curious the way you grew up and we can kind of go from there.
For sure. But yeah, thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure. Growing up, I grew up in a small town in Iowa with around 400 people. So I went to school. The school was combined with like 3 different towns, and I still only had like 12 people in my entire grade. So definitely was a shy kid growing up and just quiet. But anyways, transferred to a bigger school my freshman year, and that was a big change for me. And throughout that, like, I didn't have any real friends. Like, I was that one kid that could fit into any group, but you didn't really have like real friends there by your side. So I had a passion for football. I played football starting 3rd grade up until my senior year of high school. But freshman year, I didn't see any playing time because I was the small kid. I was 110 pounds and everybody else was, hitting puberty and they're all buff and stuff like that. So I put on 60 pounds in a year. I mean, obviously, most of that's going to be fat, little muscle, but that's when it really kicked off my insecurity about my body and like just having low confidence and low self-esteem about the way I looked. But yeah, I had dreams of playing college football, and throughout my high school, I went on a few college visits to D3 schools. I didn't really care about playing D1, D2, D3. I just wanted to play football because that's what I was passionate about. So I got into a relationship senior season with a girl, and that's when my path changed. I decided to follow her to college instead, and just get rid of my dream of playing football. And through that, like, my identity was a football player, so I lost my identity, and I felt lost. And like I said, I felt insecure and uncomfortable about my body. So football ended. I didn't feel worthy and I felt insecure. And I decided to tackle my insecurities about my body through working out. And through that, I found a passion for fitness because I was able to see my body transform. And through that, I gained confidence. And it bled into other areas of my life. And I started being a better person in all areas of my life.
I just think it's really cool, man. So I actually relate to you a lot, bro. I was kind of like the football guy. Like I really wanted to play. I didn't care what I was playing. Like I just wanted to play football at the next level. And so I relate to you in that sense, man, of like my identity as well was that athlete, and it was, this relationship. And so, I think what happens, man, was just so hard for athletes or for anybody when you identify as something that can end. And when that thing ends, you're left with really no hope. And so I'm curious, man, like once, football kind of ended for you, once you were in this relationship, and talk about like your sense of like hope and where you were at and what kind of like led you to find fitness to be able to then, have all these compounding effects, which I want to get into a lot more of the fitness stuff. But talk to me through kind of your mindset at the time where your identity was kind of stripped away of athlete, where you knew you had these insecurities and kind of your mindset of finding fitness.
Yeah. So like I said, I put on 60 pounds in that 1 year. So I got super insecure about my body. And throughout high school, like I would hide because I was so insecure about my body and had low confidence, low self-esteem. I would hide in the locker room before class, or I would go to class before everybody had got there. And I would always wear sweatshirts to hide because, I just felt like I had man boobs sticking out, or I had a gut. So no matter the weather, like it could be 80 degrees out, I'd be that kid wearing the sweatshirt. And when I did take my sweatshirt off, I would sweat profusely because I thought people were judging me, and I felt so insecure about myself. So I worked out for football, and like I enjoyed that. So I took fitness seriously, and I started eating healthier. I started working out more seriously, and I saw the changes in the mirror, and that really, like, I was super proud about the changes I was making, and that was boosting my self-esteem. And like through that, like anything is possible.
That's really good, man. I think what's so cool about, being somebody who was insecure and kind of stepping into working out and fitness, what's so cool about that, man, is you're able, like you said, to see your physical body changing. So just talk about kind of what that looked like, man, from being the insecure kid to starting to gain that confidence. And then also like, how did you build that kind of discipline and commitment to just keep sticking through? Because I know for a lot of people, the gym and nutrition and working out is something that is so hard to stick to. We know all the people who do the yo-yo dieting, the yo-yo workouts. And so for you, man, what was that level of commitment? Like what was that driver that got you to continue to push through that path?
Yeah, so I was always the hardworking kid, and I was like, growing up, I knew I was different because I was always working on myself. I didn't hang out with anybody. I was always by myself. So I knew I was different, and I was disciplined, and I knew I wanted more out of my life than what other people expected me. So I've always been disciplined and a hard worker, and a leader for other people. So
dude, I love that, man. And I know a big part of your journey was getting out of the environment that you grew up in and having to kind of break out of that because like you said, you were somebody who wanted something different. So what did that kind of next path look like for you, man? College, not college. Talk people through what that next step, when you found this passion, where did you take that to the next level, man?
Right. So going to college, like I said, I followed my girlfriend to college. All I did was work out, go to class, played video games, and hung out with my girlfriend. So like I said, I didn't have friends. I didn't connect with very many people. So the middle of the year, I got into personal development. Like I got seriously intrigued by it, like all of these other successful people on YouTube, and I just followed them because success leaves clues. So I did what they were doing. I studied fitness, training, nutrition, mindset, and personal development things. So I started spending more time with myself, reading and learning. And at the time, my Instagram was taking off, and I got contacted about modeling. Some random guy on Instagram just contacted me. So I went with my gut instinct, and I reached out to him, and we got connected. So I catapulted into modeling. Instagram was gaining traction. And next year, so sophomore year, about 3 weeks in, I went on this modeling trip to Kansas City. And dude, like, this is a trip where I saw what I was truly capable of, and that there's more than life than the expectations of what society has on us. Like, I didn't want to work. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to get a 9-to-5 job and work for the rest of my life. Like, that wasn't for me. And this trip really sparked that. And I called my mom and I told her that I'm dropping out. And she, like, I love my mom. I love my family. Like, they're so supportive. And they were like, hey, we believe in you. Do what your heart tells you to. So the next day I went to college and I unenrolled from the classes. But yeah, everybody besides my family, like my girlfriend, her parents, they weren't too happy about it because, society tells you the only way to be successful is to go to college and get a job that pays well, and then get married, settle down, and work for the rest of your life. Like, that's what success is to these small-minded people. And that's not what success is to me.
Dude, I love that, man. That's the cool thing, bro. Like, success is what you want, man. It's so personal. And I think to be able to take a step back, dude, and like redefine success in your own terms the way you did is really admirable, and where you're at now, which we'll get into. But dude, talk me through that next step, man. I mean, you dropped out of school. You knew that this is the stuff you wanted to do, but you hadn't really done it yet. So you're really just taking this shot on yourself. And like you said, it's amazing that you had this support system from your family, even though if you didn't have it from other areas. It's such a daunting thing when you drop out of school and make that decision. I know when that happened for me, it was like, bro, people are just watching to see you kind of fail. So what did that next step look like for you, man? You dropped out, you knew you wanted to, pursue modeling, pursue fitness. Where did that dropping out of school and this new energizing excitement for success take you?
For sure. So yeah, I thought I had it all figured out. I got certified as a personal trainer, started my online business. And like I was saying, everybody said that I was making a huge mistake. They thought I would fail, and nobody believed in me. Like I was saying, the only way to be successful is a safe route of getting a 9-to-5. So I had to work at the Buckle. You know what the Buckle is?
I don't.
Where they all run up to you at the front of the store and try to sell you stuff. So I had to work there for about a month or two while working my ass off, hustling for my dream. It wasn't working out at first, but when I'm into something, when my back's against the wall, I believe in myself. I believe in God, that he knows what he's doing for me. And so yeah, my business started taking off. I quit my 9-to-5 and I started helping people change their lives all over the world. And I started helping men, transform their body, reclaim their confidence, and just help them, build a body that they're truly proud of.
What was a sign for you? What was some of that really good stuff where you knew that this was something that you wanted to continue to do?
Just the excitement, waking up every morning. Like, I would jump out of bed, and that's like, most people don't do that. Most people hit their snooze alarm like 5 different times until like, oh shit, here we have to go again. But no, dude, I was jumping out of bed, excited to kill every day, help people change their lives. And that's like, seeing people message me, telling me how I changed their life. That means a lot.
Dude, that's incredible, man. That's a shift right there, dude. If you're like, I remember, bro, the days personally, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Evan, but I remember the days where I couldn't go to sleep because I was so upset to wake up the next morning to go to school, to live this life that I didn't want to live. And the converse to that, like you're saying, man, where now you're like eager to get up and be excited because you get to do what you love every single day, man. So talk about the progression from when you started, man. I know there was a big move in there. I want you to talk about that, really, putting yourself in a situation that to really force yourself to grow, and just kind of what those next steps looked like for you as, you're starting to gain momentum and build this fitness empire and journey.
Yeah, definitely. So I got invited to shoot with an amazing photographer and a mentor of mine in Orlando, Florida. And this event even like sparked my, I guess, it really showed me what I'm truly capable of, more than the modeling trip before. Like, this showed me, and I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? It just showed me that I'm meant for greatness, and that my life is I'm going to do great things in life. So I came back, and that's about time that COVID started. So I ended the 2-year relationship with my girlfriend at the time, and that was freaking hard. But yeah, I moved back in with my parents and just started grinding like nothing happened. And I was helping people get healthy through COVID. My business was even doing better, and I was impacting more people's lives. And so around end of July, I moved to Tampa, Florida, because I was getting comfortable. Like I was stagnant, and the only way to grow is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. So I moved across the country to Tampa, Florida, and during that time, I signed with a modeling agency. So my modeling career started to pick up as well.
The self-awareness that you had to realize that you were comfortable, man. Most people will never have the self-awareness to realize that they're comfortable, because we want to be comfortable, right? Our ego and our body wants us to be comfortable, but there's no growth in comfort, right? So I want you to talk about your self-awareness to realize that the comfortability that you had was holding you back, and that you wanted something more. That's just such an amazing piece of self-awareness.
Right. So when you're comfortable, like that's a time when you're getting worse, when you're dying on the inside. So my business was starting to go downhill, and like my happiness was starting to fade because, I'm gonna be honest, my family, like as much as I support them, they don't have the same like drive. And so as much as I love my family, and like I really love my family because they're super supportive, they don't have the same they don't have the same energy or like drive that I do, but they still believe in me. So I knew I had to get out of that environment in order to grow. And along with that, like I was pursuing my modeling career, and there's no opportunities in Iowa. Like there's none. Maybe one in Des Moines, but that's 2 hours away. So I had to get out of Iowa and come down to Florida where all the opportunities were. So I moved out of Iowa, came down to Florida, and I'm pursuing my modeling career right now.
Yeah, man. And that was not too long ago, bro. So I know you're in Florida now, and we got connected through a group called the King's Council. And so I want you to talk, man, about how important your faith and your relationship with God has been to this new journey, man. Like as you're down in Florida, and talk about what it kind of looked like getting hooked up with King's Council, and just how important your faith has been in your journey to becoming a powerful one.
Right. So, growing up, I went to church. Like I grew up a Catholic. So I mean, I went to church because that's like what my family did, and that's what I was told to do. But I never really had a relationship with God, and that started to show in my life because I started to go downhill, and I got an ad on my computer to go to the CEO of Your Life event in Tampa, Florida. So I went to that event, and I saw all these kings where all these people wearing king shirts, and they're full of love, energy, and just passion for God. So I decided that the next step in my life was to accept Jesus as my savior, and just rebuild my relationship with God. And yeah, so I joined King's Council, and that's how I met Tommy.
Dude, I love it. As you think about where you're at now stuff is really moving for you, right? Like you're picking up your coaching business is going really well. Your modeling is going really well, right? Your relationship with God is strong. What is the hardest thing that people don't see about whether it's being an entrepreneur or working for yourself? Like what's the hardest thing for you, and being the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome that maybe people don't see in your journey?
Yeah, so a lot of people just look at where they are right now, like the Wikipedia version of people. They don't see all the sacrifices that we make. They don't see everything that we had to overcome to get where we are. And like I said, I sacrificed toxic people. I sacrificed time. I sacrificed comfort and a 2-year relationship. I mean, I sacrificed a lot to get where I am, and I'm still overcoming adversities every single day. And so that's something that people don't really see.
Absolutely, man. Dude, in terms of for you, like I know when you talk about insecurities and kind of breaking those, I know for you it was really fitness and starting to gain that confidence and seeing these physical changes. But what advice would you give to somebody who's maybe around our age, maybe a little bit younger, or really just anybody listening, man, that deals with those insecurities, that lack of confidence, that could really help them kind of break that and step into the powerful being that they are?
Damn, dude, that's a really good question. Wow. So my biggest thing would just be embrace your insecurities and put yourself in an uncomfortable situation for you to actually step out and use your insecurities as your power. So
What's the most exciting thing, man, about where you're at now in your life and your journey that just really excites you about waking up every day and pursuing your passions and just being a powerful man?
what excites me the most is that, you know, I have so many years left to live, and to do this right now, to do to be doing what I love right now is is insane because looking down the road, like I'm gonna be doing this for so many more years, helping people, build a physique that they're proud of with the confidence and mindset to match and just help people change their lives. So yeah, it's super amazing.
Dude, I love it, man. What is a piece of life advice that you would give to somebody listening that's really like stuck with you throughout the course of your life that you can give to them to kind of wrap up the tone of this really awesome podcast, man? What would that piece of life advice be?
Yeah, so my biggest piece of life advice was to be that your life is 100% your responsibility. Like this is your life. The only person that you have to make happy. So do what you want to do with your life, be who you want to be, and that's all that matters because this is your life and you only have one.
I love it, man. That's really good. Yeah, it's your responsibility, man. Nobody else is going to do it for you. I love that. Where can people find you, dude? And what can they expect if they tune into your content?
Yeah, so you can find me at Evan Anderson Fitness on Instagram or Evan Anderson on YouTube. And basically you can my content's all about helping men build their dream physique with the confidence and mindset to match. Because I believe if you're proud of the man in the mirror, your self-esteem rises and success is drawn to you. And in that state, anything is possible. So I help men with their fitness, nutrition mindset, and just helping them become confident in themselves and transform into the man that they're meant to be.
That's awesome, brother. Well, dude, I appreciate you being on this podcast. Keep spreading your powerful energy with the world. Keep being a powerful one.
Dude, it was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Awesome, guys. We are out.
So thank you guys so much for making it to the end. I really appreciate your support, not only for me, not only for Powerful One, but also all the guests on this platform and just tuning in and being inspired and being powerful, man. So, thank you again if you watched this and, excited for the future. Excited. It's been a great year for Powerful One. Excited for everything I have coming in the future, everything with the brand, everything with my personal brand, and just everything in general. So just want to thank you guys again, and be sure to share this if it inspired you, if it felt powerful, if you connected with it. Share it with your friends, share the platform. Please go, if you don't mind, go subscribe on YouTube, go write a review on iTunes. All that stuff really means a lot. Thank you guys again, and be sure to stay tuned because every week we are coming out with a new podcast episode. Stay locked into the page, guys. Thank you. Stay powerful.